Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last video of week 6. So week 6, part 6. We are still on unit 7 and 8 review. If you remember in the last video, I did a brief review of present perfect and present perfect continuous. So has or have been plus the ing verb, or has plus the ed verb, right? So let's open our books to page 108 and do the fill in the blank. You see where it says grammar, exercise 2, grammar, part A. What is the title of this paragraph here? The title is Joni's Problem. Okay? So, I'm going to read the first few sentences, but then I want you to pause this video, fill in the blank, and then we will go over the answers after you're done. Okay? So let's read the first few sentences of Joni's Problem. Joni is at the electronics store. She has been talking with a clerk in customer service for the past 15 minutes. She wants to return a scanner. He told her she could exchange the scanner. Okay, now pause right where you are and complete the rest of the sentences. And when you're done, we will be ready to go over the answers. Okay, did you finish? All right, so let me keep reading. He told her she could exchange the scanner. However, Joni has been looking at scanners for several months, and she still hasn't found another one she likes. So number 2 is has been looking. And number 3 is hasn't found. Now, just to be clear, scanners, I believe the scanners they are talking about are like a printer, but where you can scan a document from the scanner onto another device like your computer, I think. Or it could be some other kind of scanner that I'm just not familiar with. So anyway, all right, so she wants a refund. The clerk has just called his manager this minute to see if Joni can get a refund, but the manager is not in his office. So number 4 is has just called. Okay. This situation is very frustrating for Joni. She's tired and wants to go home. Okay. So number 5 is frustrating. Number 6 is tired. Okay, so look at number 2. Is that present perfect or present perfect continuous? Number 2 is present perfect continuous because what's our key word? The word that gives us the clue is it says for several months. So Joni has been looking at scanners for several months, which means she is still looking for a scanner. That is an action that is continuing to go on. Number 3, hasn't found, has not found. That is present perfect, right? Because it is a completed action. It's not like she has continued not finding. It's just she hasn't found. As of right now, she hasn't found. Okay, has just called. Number 4, that is an action that is ongoing or an action that was recently completed. Sounds like it was recently completed. He just called his manager right this minute. Okay, and then I think in the last video we already went over ing and ed, so I won't spend time going over that. Okay, let's do part B very quickly, and then I want to work on pronunciation. So, part B. So look at the words that are underlined in the answers, and then you write the question. So this is really interesting because usually you're asked a question and you give the answer, but this time they give you the answer and you have to think, what question can I ask to get this answer? So they underline words in the answer to help you think through what the question would be. So number 1, the answer says, Joni wants to return her scanner. So what question would you ask to get that answer? What does Joni want to return? Joni wants to return her scanner. So number 1. What does Joni want to return? Okay. Number 2, the answer is that Joni has been talking to the clerk for 15 minutes. So, here's the thing where it's important to look at which words did they underline. Because a question you could ask is, who has Joni been talking to for 15 minutes? But that's not what they want to know. What they want to know is, how long has Joni been talking to the clerk? Okay? It's tricky, huh? All right, number 3, the answer is the customer service clerk says that she can exchange the scanner. So the answer is what? or what's the question, I mean? What's the question that we're asking? Who says she can exchange the scanner? The customer service clerk says that she can exchange the scanner. Okay, good. And then number 4, Joni went to the store on Saturday afternoon. So what's the question we're asking? When did Joni go to the store? Okay? All right. Very good. Now let's do some really fun stuff. If you'll look at page 109, we're going to practice some pronunciation. So I don't know if you remember, we maybe talked about this early in the year, but when it comes to pronunciation, we say that content words are usually stressed and function words are usually unstressed. So what that means is, let's see. Well, let me just tell you, what are function words? Function words include, oh wait, this is listed. This is listed on the top of page, so I don't need to write it down. On the top of page 109. So it says in the orange box, normally function words such as pronouns, prepositions, conjunctions, articles, to be verbs, and auxiliary verbs are not stressed. However, when strong feelings or disagreements are expressed, function words can receive strong stress. So ignore the last sentence for right now. Let me give you an example of what we're talking about with stress and not stress. So, Bob buys a new cell phone as soon as a new one comes out. Okay. Bob buys a new cell phone as soon as a new one comes out. So, let's see. So which words were stressed and not stressed when I said that sentence? Bob buys a new cell phone as soon as a new one comes out. Here, let me show you the stress. All right. So content words were stressed here. Bob buys new cell phone, new one comes out. A is just a function word. You don't need to emphasize it, right? But if we change it, what if we say, we could say Bob buys a new cell phone as soon as a new one comes out. Then we emphasize as soon as. And why would we do that? We might emphasize those if we want to really put emphasis on when something happened. Okay? So although we typically stress content words, we sometimes stress function words depending on the situation and how we feel about it. Okay, so here's the fun part. Now we're going to listen. You'll see the QR code on your book. QR code. So you can scan that or you can listen right now. Also, as we are listening, they will pause before reading the answer. That is to give you time to practice saying the answer with the proper, with the stress on the underlined word. Okay? So we'll just do it and you'll get the hang of it. Here we go.
Page 109. Exercise 3A. 1. Is the camera defective?
It's defective and too small.
2.
Don't you usually finish at 5 o'clock?
I do usually finish at 5 o'clock, but not today.
3.
Why aren't you applying for that job?
I am. I'll go there tomorrow.
4.
I don't trust the man who sold you this car.
Well, I do. It's my decision, not yours.
5.
Is he excited about his new job?
No, but his wife is.
6.
Did you put the returned merchandise on my desk?
No, I put it in your desk.
Okay. So, did that make sense? Did you hear when they were putting stress on the underlined words? If that did not make sense to you, then please feel free to send me a message on WhatsApp or send me a text message or an email, and I would be glad to help you. Your homework is to do part B, and your job is to listen and you underline which word are they stressing. You listen, scan the QR code and listen, and then you underline which word they stress. And I think you do the same thing on part C, okay? So, great job this week. Thank you again for all of your hard work. I really appreciate you guys doing so much to improve your English. I miss you all. I cannot wait to see you in person, hopefully soon. But for now, take care. I will see you next time. Ciao.